I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation, unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to put to rout all that was not life, to cut a broad swath and shave close, to drive life from a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms, and if it proved to be mean, why then to get to the whole and genuine meanness of it all, and to publish its meanness to the world, or if it were sublime, to know it by experience, and to be able to give a true account of it in my next excursion. For most men, it appears to me, are in a strange uncertainty about it, whether it is of the devil or of God, and have somewhat hastily concluded that it is the chief end of man here to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. Hi, my name is William James Lindberg, and this is the Chapel of Poetry, and I just read to you an excerpt from Henry David Thoreau's book, Walden Pond. And Henry David Thoreau is one of my favorite thinkers, and his words to me read like scripture. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. And that's what I want to do in my life. And that's what we do here in the Chapel of Poetry. We live deep. We live deep, and we seek to get the most out of life, because we live our lives in a crucible of pain, and as we grind that, as we get ground up in the crucible, out comes our word. The word that drives us. The word that drives us to create. And tonight, in the Chapel of Poetry, I am going to do a reading from a bunch of books that I have. I have so many books on poetry, you know, and I didn't know what to do with them all. So I have this poetry book grab bag, and I'm going to select at random a few poems, books, and read poems from them tonight. And the first book I'm going to read from is Undertow, Overtures, Poems by Larry Crist. And Larry is a friend of mine, and I'm going to read a poem about an open mic that's where I met him at. This open mic in Seattle, Washington. The open mic was called Homeland, and it was at a place called OnThe House. And OnThe House was a storefront church that was run by Benji and Abby Rhodes. And that was that. So I'm going to read this poem called OnThe House by Larry Crist, in his book, Undertow, Overtures. En route to the reading, I heard, then watched a woodpecker. It had a bright red head and striped wings, and tapped for me. I saw a pair of flower beds, big brass bed frames, fencing in a garden, leaving no doubt as to the pun intended. I saw a pretty girl raking leaves who said, "Hi," A jogger girl who nearly ran me over. An ambulance blaring its siren, going up Madison on the wrong side of the road. I entered the reading, took an armchair beside Luke, exchanged highs with the old grizzled cuss. Eric Miller reintroduced himself to me. What a sweet kid. Had I been as cool as that when I was 19? A woman I hadn't seen before poured coffee. As I got some water, gave Mac a whack on the shoulder. Tom took stage. Things began. Charlie was reading Hemingway when Luke went for the bathroom. Robert Jordan this, Robert Jordan that, Robert Jordan, Robert Jordan. There was a racket in the head. I thought Luke was making some statement in regards to Charlie's reading. Luke came out, flailing his arms, bad mind from where I sat. Robert Jordan, Robert Jordan, Robert Jordan, Robert Jordan. Luke went in, Luke came out, Luke went in, made another gesture, all of which Tom missed. Robert Jordan was receiving rifle instructions. As Luke huffed past where I was sitting, grabbed his coat and bag. Grumbled that someone was shooting up in the bathroom and left. Was he pissed about illicit drug use? Being left out? That he couldn't get into the stall? Or was it something Robert Jordan had done? After Luke left, the strange woman came out. I could see the junk all over her as she shuffled over to the couch and sat. Others read or played their guitars. I read my 3 or 5. The heroin-high woman read her first time there. She said, packed with cliches and Johns and John, 10 cliches and 22 Johns later, she bid us a weak heroin farewell. Tom played a computer cartoon he had made. Eric Miller sang and played guitar, and things soon concluded. Another reading come and gone, giving voice to the voiceless, words to and from the illiterate, a stage for us without a platform, a space when there's nowhere else. We come here, and why the hell not? Every Monday night we come here.